And now to center court. You may have heard the cheers in the background while we were in court one as Andre Agassi made his appearance with hard-serving Richard Krajicek, the Dutchman who has many feel as big a serve as anyone in the men's game. Agassi, the defending champion, and Krajicek will match his big serve against Agassi's prowess at returning serve.
Well, Bud, I talked before at the French Open that I thought Richard Krajicek had the biggest serve ever, and I want to qualify that by saying the combination of serve and volley. For a big guy, Richard Krajicek at 6'5" tall, moves very well at net, is a solid volleyer, and you combine that with that big boomer. Perhaps Goran Ivanisevic hits the serve a little bit harder at times. But you combine those two elements, serve and volley, I think he's clearly the best.
Well, I can see you're backing off a little because there are a lot of people in there. But let's. You're talking about a quality serve. In other words, results and everything like that.
I'm talking about how often you get broken, how difficult it is to break his serve. But he's clearly one of the hardest servers I've ever seen. I personally feel he is a slightly harder server, but I've seen Goran out there a few times. It'd be hard to argue that he isn't a big bomber, too. We'd have to go by the machines on that one. Here we see Richard Krajicek's early round. Nicholas Kolke, who's more of a clay court player. Jocko Eltine, a good win for Richard, a countryman, a good grass court player. And Thielman, Belgium.
Well, he's a strange character. Laurent Thielman, who has an Italian mother. He's an Italian citizen, a Dutch father. They live in Brussels. The Italian reporters went to interview him. He doesn't speak much Italian.
Here's Andre Agassi's early round results. Bernd Karbacher of Germany, Cunha Silva, Rafter. Here we go.
Want to explain to our audience, with only some 40 minutes to go in our airtime for network obligations, obviously we will not be able to show you all of this match. Wanted to give you a taste of it. We'll show you this game, and we hope to be able to offer you in the remaining time, depending on how action goes, some final results from other court action.
The new serve of Andre Agassi.
30 love.
Well, you talk about Krajicek's big serve, but how about his ground game?
Not solid off the ground. He's dangerous off the ground, but very inconsistent. Andre needs to keep focused, knowing Krajicek can make a lot of mistakes. Will make some winners.
30-15.
They have met twice, and each has won. Agassi won here at Wimbledon, and Krajicek had a win against him earlier this year.
What Krajicek does well is the chip and come in off the second serve. That's what Andre has to watch out for. This shot right here.
Nope. Wide.
He's a very big man. He hits that slice beautifully off the backhand side. And Andre's got to try to put a little bit extra on that second serve or a high percentage of first serves in order to keep Krajicek off balance. Krajicek likes to go for a lot more off the forehand.
Krajicek beat him at the Lipton, Key Biscayne, Florida.
6-2, 7-5.
14-30.
Well, Agassi has served remarkably well with that abbreviated serve. Mentioned that his wrist bothered him when he took the full swing and trying to take it the full rotation, so he's just accommodated the right wrist injury. You see the band on that wrist by just starting from there.
First service.
Also, Dick, it gave him less things to think about. Easier to get his rhythm. He hadn't played for a few months. He didn't pick up a racket for a month. It's the quickest way to get it back.
So he says.
What are you insinuating there, Bud?
I just think he's playing a lot better than can be expected for a guy who laid out. Maybe he's a genius. We know he's a shot-making genius.
Genius on the tennis court, that's for sure.
To the delight of this center court crowd, Agassi gets off to a good start. Agassi holding to open this match with Richard Krajicek, and Krajicek already love 30, and Agassi has just returned a blistering backhand cross-court winner for love 30.
Well, this is a classic match, Dick. The big server versus the big returner. Look here at that previous point. Richard Krajicek hits what he thought to be a pretty big serve out to the backhand. Andre sees the ball so early, took that ball early, just met it cross-court. 15-30.
Krajicek, another of the 21-year-olds, top of the tennis ladder.
Richard needs to mix up his serves. Not only position, but power and where he places the ball. Try to go into the body sometime. It's as if Andre Agassi knew where he was going off that volley. Andre hits a miss hit here. Richard hit it, gave him a second chance, really. Hit it right back to him.
So 2 break points early for Agassi to get the lead in the opening set.
Clearly not the start that Richard Krajicek was looking for. But when you have that serve, Dick, will get you out of a lot of trouble.
That's his first ace. He has 52 now in the tournament.
Smart thing here, it takes a little bit off it, which for him is bigger than most servers anyway. Still break point.
No threat to break unofficial record of Ivan Isavic over 200 last year. .22 and 20, so he's building in the power. 51 coming into this 4th round. There's the break. Agassi leads 2-love.
Agassi leads 2 games to love, first set.
And we've been away from court 14 for a while, so finale. And here again is Agassi leading 2-love. I think he relished this challenge of Krajicek and all the talk about the big serve against the tough returner.
Well, he had beaten Richard Krajicek, as we saw in the graphic earlier, 2 years ago here at Wimbledon in a close match. He's very confident against the big servers. Here's a play that I think you're going to be seeing a lot of from Richard. Andre a little bit disappointed he didn't finish that off. He played a great point to that point.
A lot of noise overhead. That's probably the 540 Concorde coming in. It's 5:30 London time.
Approaches in that.
And Agassi held that forehand.
15 all.
I think what Andre Agassi's proven, you just can't come in on anything against Andre Agassi. You need to go deeper, you need to go shorter, but not that shot in no man's land. Gave Andre too many options. 15 all.
Interest in this match and the second week for Agassi was whether Barbara Streisand would be here to cheer for the young man she calls the Zen Master. Now let's check the friends box with our friendly NBC cameras. Well, Nick Bollettieri upper left and brother Phil.
Maybe she'll sing the national anthem if she
Tom Ocker
gets to the finals.
30 all.
Rowan Getsky with the cap. And Tiny Tom Ocker is there.
The only other Dutchman to reach the finals of Wimbledon. Well, actually didn't make it to the finals, semis.
Finals of the U.S. Open in '68 where he lost to Arthur Ashe.
So Rowan Getsky's an Australian who coaches him. The other fellow is his heptonymist.
30-14.
Could you say that again, Bud? What was that?
Let's look at this again.
We see Andre trying to take a little bit off that serve. He doesn't get it quite wide enough. Krajicek sneaks it in just inside the line. Break point, big game for Richard to try to get right back into the set. He has a tendency to he has a tendency to overhit on that forehand. That's an example right there. Didn't need to go for quite as much as that. He knows Andre's going to stay back off the serve.
A heptonymist. Dick.
That's jive talk, isn't
Ted
it? Like
Trost, that's right.
He's a hip guy.
He's a hep cat, not a hep cat, but
he's a rapper.
It's a a form of physiotherapy that's very popular in the Netherlands, and he travels with Krajicek. And at some point in this physiotherapy, as it's been described to me, you lift the patient by his skin. And you do that throughout the entire body.
You know, it's amazing what you can learn on these telecasts from Wimbledon.
So if you want to offer your skin for a trial, I don't think I do.
Cheers.
Well, Agassi's double fault gave Krajicek a second break chance, but knocks that one into the bottom of the net. 2-love Agassi, opening set. Time running out in our schedule today. Don't forget, 11:35 tonight. We'll have all the scores and results for you with our Wimbledon update. There's the point of the day on center court.
Advantage, Krajicek.
Richard likes to hit that inside forehand as well. Good recovery here by Richard. Moves well for a big man. Andre couldn't do enough with that pass. Third break point for Richard Krajicek.
Center linesman calls it wide.
It seemed clearly a fault.
Yes, it looks to be wide on that replay.
It's wide. Krajicek has earned the break back. 2-1 on serve in the opening set. We'll visit our local stations. At the start of our telecast today, our live coverage, our network allotment was 3 hours, and we hope you've enjoyed our 5-court coverage. We'll stay here at center court until our 1 o'clock Eastern deadline. There's been a break each in this opening set. Agassi with the early break. Krajicek then fought back, and it is now 30-15. Krajicek serving 3-4.
They talked about the extra weight that Andre Agassi's put on. He looked like he was moving very well that last point. I'd say the lack of match toughness is probably a bigger problem for Andre Agassi than the extra couple pounds he may have on right now.
And the fact that we've not had a drop of rain the entire fortnight. It's been incredibly beautiful weather, and that ball is bouncing higher and higher, and Agassi likes that.
Agassi likes to have the court a little bit firmer, so the ball comes up a little more. Here we see the sunshine. Has not rained once during the whole tournament. It's amazing. Yeah, it's also good for Andre Agassi because he's known he's played Monday, Wednesday, Friday, a couple days prepare for the big boys in the second week, so it's worked out real well for him.
That's the 4th ace for Krajicek.
And he's going to need to pick it up a level against a guy of Richard Krajicek's caliber, who we saw earlier a few weeks ago get to the semifinals and have a good match with Jim Curry in the semifinals of the French Open.
Point from 4-all.
On clay courts.
Playing Krajicek.
That's just an overpowering serve. Too much pace on it. No one can handle
4
that.
games all, first set.
Agassi riding a 10-match winning streak here at the All England Club. And as you are well aware, that following this championship, many thought he would not be here to defend because of that wrist problem. Even surgery was being talked about if the cortisone injections didn't take full effect. But England is happy he's here. As Hannah told you, the quarterfinals for the men on Wednesday, and we'll have 2 hours of coverage for you beginning the same time as today's programming. That'll be at 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 Pacific time.
England's certainly glad that Andre's here, and Andre's glad that Andre's here. It would have been very disappointing for the defending champion not to come back and try to defend his title.